Good evening, students. Welcome to this VCC for Intermediate Paper 7A, Information Enterprise Information System. So I already see a lot of you there. So let me just call all those who have logged in first. Dhyanesh, Jash, Chakshu, Jyoti, Kasif, Vaishali, Pritika, Alok, Shankaran, then Mohammad Abid, Geet, Alok, Alok, then Parthasarthi. Okay, so good evening to all. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. So let us start today's class on Enterprise Information System. So I'll request you all of you to keep your tabs on because I'll be asking lot of questions to you. I've kept a separate second laptop so that I can, on real-time basis, I can view the answers that you are going to submit. So keep your tabs on. Okay, so a lot of you have again said good evening. Good evening to all. Let us start. Now, Enterprise Information System, this paper 7A. Let us continue. Let us see how things go about. So it's a standard disclaimer that we use. Please ask questions during the session. I'll keep my chat on. I'll try to answer all your questions during the session. We'll have appropriate timing for that when I answer your questions. And now, so the first question from me to all of you is it a theory subject or practical subject? Be true. Ours is like a truth-telling session. So let us be true to ourselves. What is your belief that this subject is theory or practical? So you can say T or P to make it fast for all of you. Okay, so I'll just go through that. Okay, yeah. So Anand, it's there. Okay, so you put the answers. I'll continue. Now, these are the 5 chapters of the module: automated business processes, financial and accounting system, information system and its components, e-commerce, m-commerce, emerging technology, core banking system. Now, see, the way we need to approach this subject is we need to go first within first 10 minutes. Let us put a benchmark on the number of score that we want. So what the second question that I want you to answer is, what is your, suppose it's a 50 marks paper. So in terms of percentage, what percentage you all want to score in this paper? So next question you have to put is the percentage of numbers that you want to score in this subject. From my side, it's a scoring subject. We all must get at least 80% marks. The reason being that I've read most of your answers. You all say theory. Few of you have tried to say practical. I'll go by those who have said practical. So see, most of you believe that it's a theory subject. To me personally, it's a practical subject. What is the core? What we shall be trying to do? Whatever is there that we are going to read, our whole presentation is based on the module itself. Very well drafted, created modules. Lot of case studies, lot of questions we are going to deal through. What we'll be adding is adding the practical aspect of those things that are there. So today, see, as you start your day, from start of the day, by the time you go to sleep on your bed, you are directly in touch with technology non-stop. So this subject just cannot be theory. It has to be more than 100% practical. So let us talk about the chapters. So first chapter is automated business process. It is going to talk about the process of automation, business process automation as an activity. Then you have financial and accounting system. We'll be talking about ERP, integrated, non-integrated system, related control parameters. Then information systems and its components. So if you talk of a system, it is going to have its components. So what components does information system has? Database and all those things. Then e-commerce, m-commerce and emerging technology. Today, you, me, all of us have been buying products, buying goods, getting services booked online. This class itself is a good example of emerging technology. This whole sessions which institute is having. So it's a very good example of how well technology can be put in place. So e-commerce, m-commerce, emerging technology. And last is core banking system. You all, we all go to bank, you go to ATMs. So how does banking system operate? So that is what we are going to talk about. Automated business processes, financial accounting system, information system, its components, e-commerce, m-commerce, emerging technology, and core banking system. We'll be starting today with first chapter, automated business process. So now you have answered my questions. So I'll just go through the questions. Good. So that is claps. So few of you, the score that you have said is, I take that you want to score this much. One of the truest point has been made by Prabhat. Prabhat has said, sir, I want to score 50%, but we'll make an effort that you score much more than that. And most of you have said 80, 85%. Someone has said 100%, 90%. So it is great. So that is what we need to put our effort in this whole subject, whole chapter, so that we score very well. Then what I'll be bringing to you is practical aspect. We'll be talking about lot of real life case studies to consolidate, conceptualize the way technology is operating in your day-to-day life. So we'll be starting with chapter 1, automated business processes. Okay. Now, these are the components of the chapter. We have 3 days to complete. So we'll be doing very ethically, no hurry. Ask your questions during the session. I have already told to all of you. So be frank on that. Put all questions. Rohit has put a question, is the subject difficult, easy? It's absolutely easy. And it's a scoring subject. My take is minimum 80%. Okay. So let us start. So many of you are saying, I want to score this much. I'll welcome that. Thank you. So we'll be talking about introduction, enterprise business processes, automated business processes, risk and its management, enterprise risk management, controls, then specific controls for specific business processes in an entity, diagrammatic representation, flowchart, regulatory and compliance requirements. In fact, because we are having this chapter for 3 days, what I'll be doing each day at the end of the session, we'll be having some discussion on flowchart. The core purpose for that, adding that, bringing more input to flowchart is flowchart. I think 8 or 6 or 10 marks question, whatever it comes in your examination, it is one of the topics you can get 10 out of 10, 100% score. So we'll be putting that effort so that our score is, if flowchart comes as question in exam, you score 100%. So we're going to make effort like that. Okay. Then, starting with the first word that has come, the concept of integrated, non-integrated in the chapter. Now, first, let us understand, define the whole paper itself, enterprise information system. So what is a system? So system is basically way of doing things. So way of doing things includes every aspect of life. It includes the way you study. It includes the food, the way food is prepared. It includes the way these lectures are being delivered. It includes the way vehicles are being driven. So system is every aspect of life that is there. Now, when you say that system is every aspect of life, bank is a system, institute is a system. Those of you who are under articleship, your office itself is a system. So when I say system, it is going to be formed of components, subparts, which are going to work together. Now, the first concept that has been brought in the chapter is concept of integrated and non-integrated system. So it becomes a direct question. What is an integrated system and what is a non-integrated system? I told you we are going to do a lot of practicals. So you see on your screen 2 options. Your vehicle suddenly stops as fuel is finished. Purchase manager gets an email or SMS from system informing that important raw material items inventory level has touched reorder level. These are examples of two systems. You are on the road, your vehicle stops because the fuel is finished. You are purchase manager of a company. You have got your system on your mobile. As soon as an item's reorder level is hit, I think we all understand reorder level. As soon as an item's reorder level is hit, then immediately a email or a pop or a notification or a message is sent to the purchase manager's system. To me, it's desktop, or the way things are evolving now, it's mobile of the purchase manager. The question that is put to you is, you have to say which of the two, vehicle is integrated or non-integrated system, purchase manager system is integrated or non-integrated. Answer this question. Which of the two you feel is an integrated system? You can also answer singularly. You can say that this is integrated system. Based on your answers, we are going to carry forward this discussion. Okay. So answer that. Then once you answer, let us see how it goes ahead. Oh, I'm waiting for your answer. So let us see. Yeah. So I've got the answers. Thank you. So Vardhan and Dhyanesh both have answered correctly. So purchase manager system is integrated system. Now, what is exactly the idea behind this base from where the chapter is starting? So purchase manager system, because it is integrated. Integrated means there are two systems which have been interlinked, joined together. So a system notifies the location where action has to be taken. That becomes integrated. Because the notification is there that the raw material has reached reorder level, you have to buy that material. That makes it integrated system. There are phenomenal examples that you must carry. See, what I want all of you, I'll be sharing lot of practical examples, real life examples. The whole presentation is based on Institute's module. The Institute module you all have, you have lot of effort. Institute is making mock test series, revisionary test papers. Keep all those with you. What one thing I want you to carry from these sessions we are going to have, the practical examples that I'll be sharing with you. So we want to learn from this. And believe me, during the course of whole discussion for as many chapters we talk about, we are going to carry those examples. So it will become like a storyboard. I understand you know what is a storyboard. Storyboard is like a big case which is used at every appropriate location. So we are going to use it. So let me bring some real life examples to you on this. Transportation business has become a phenomenal logistics per se. So like this ice cream makers and Amul and dairy product makers, when they have to send, say, suppose butter has to be sent by Amul to one of the locations, say somewhere in Leh Ladakh or Jammu Kashmir. So the butter is going to travel from Gujarat and go to Jammu and Kashmir. So it is going to traverse more than 1,000 kilometers. So now the level of logistics management has become so high that the van in which the Amul butter is being carried, that van has system that keeps a track of the temperature of the inside of the van. So it is, say for example, suppose it has to be maintained at minus 18 degrees centigrade. So there are thermometers inside the van that keep a track of the temperature inside the van. This is directly fed into Amul's logistics management system. So someone in Anand, say headquarter of the company, is sitting and checking what is the status of the temperature, whether it is minus 18 or it has gone above that. Minus 10. So minus 10, the butter can start melting. So then they immediately tell the transporter, there's immediate communication that the temperature is going down. That temperature is also displayed on the dashboard of the driver of the vehicle. But then suppose driver is taking a nap or the truck is there could be a tire puncture. So all those situations, this is real life tracking. So that is integrated system. So what will be integrated system for us? Those systems which allow their status to be tracked independently, which integrate their status to another form of system where action can be triggered, action can be taken. Those systems are referred to as integrated system. One more examples. One of our famous cricketers has been coming on advertisement, giving advertisement for one of this water purifier. So if you look to that advertisement, what it says is that in water purifier, there are resins which are used to filter the water. So over a period of time, the resins are consumed. So in the water purifier, there are checks, indicators that if the resin level goes beyond a limit, the water purifier has been integrated to your Wi-Fi of the home. So that water purifier has been linked to Wi-Fi of the home. As soon as the resin level goes down, the water purifier itself informs the service company or the owner company that my resins have gone down, please refill. So service engineer from the company is going to directly come and do it. That level of integration we are talking about. So all these systems are integrated system. Okay. Now this example of water purifier I have talked about, this is a word that is part of your syllabus. Can you tell what this technology is called, where your electrical devices have been connected to your home Wi-Fi so that they can inform you on something? It comes in a subsequent chapter. Just tell me the name if you know of the technology. Great. So most of you have answered the question correctly. The purchase system is integrated system. So just keep a tag of it. And there are numerous examples that you can see, you can imagine. These are integrated systems. Great. So I've got very good answers. Thank you. Then, so how we are going to talk about chapters we'll be talking about. Then we'll do lot of questions. Few I may bring as a part of PPT. Few we may do in question answer. And at the end of the day, we'll have a recap also. Okay. So this is how your module looks like. Let us read how this chapter appears. So enterprise business processes. This chapter. Now, this whole idea about integrated, non-integrated at the start, before going to the breakdown of the chapter, was basically creating the idea when I say automation. So what is basically being done when I say integrated? So what I am adding to my existing system is a process of automation. That is exactly what was the idea behind that discussion. Let us see how the chapter is configured, how the chapter is divided. So we'll be talking about enterprise business process categories, operational systems, supporting system, management systems, then objectives, benefits, implementations of automation, risk management, controls, then specific business process. Very detailed discussion we are going to have on each of this system, the controls, the parameters, how these need to be created. Then flowcharts, I have told you we are going to discuss every day of this chapter, flowchart, so that the learning is good, and regulatory and compliance requirements. So this is whole of your chapter 1. Let me now see the answers you have given. Very good. So Kanaya Singh talks about SAP. Great. Purchase AI. Yeah, good. So I think we will have this concept of e-chocolate. So those of you who give the correct answer get a credit of e-chocolate. I don't know. I am not sure how I am going to pass that e-chocolate to you, but let us see who of you have answered the question very correctly. So the e-chocolate for this question will go to Pranav, Kumkum, Manya, Anand. Great. So the 4 have answered perfectly. IoT, Internet of Things. So it's a revolution that is in making. It's part of the chapters. When it comes, we'll be making more discussion. But see why this discussion is important. So if you remember that water purifier, you have remembered 2 things. What 2 things you have remembered? What is an integrated system and what is an IoT? So this is what we will be emphasizing, that if we can create a singular examples that can help us remember more than one topic. So just keep a tag of it. Okay, let us continue. Great. So I'll be picking those who have given the perfect answer. So 4 e-chocolates are due to you. Those who have joined late, yeah. Now Priyanka says again IoT. Great. Okay. So let us continue. The next slide. Then what is the learning objective of this chapter? So build an understanding of concept of business process, its automation and implementation. This is very, very important. Believe me, this slide is very important. All of you, once you become chartered accountant, this slide creates huge opportunities for you once you become chartered accountant. So my idea will be letting you know those keywords that you carry till the time you become chartered accountant. So maybe in practice or any location you go for service, these are going to be phenomenal things that you are going to improve upon, learn. So please take these two words from the first line: business process, automation and implementation. This is a direct practice opportunity for all of you. Once you become chartered accountants, you can do this. It is a phenomenal work to be done. Lot of value added services you provide and lot of fees you can charge. So let us be sometimes we need to see the payback also. So this one line is going to generate more than 10 times payback that you are incurring to become chartered accountants. Just keep a tag of it. It's very, very, very important. Build an understanding of concept of business. So what we are going to learn in the chapter, what is a business process, how that business process can be automated, and how that automation can be put in place, how you can implement it first. Second, understand the concept, flow, relationship of internal and automated controls. So how controls are going to work, what is the idea behind controls, what controls are necessary, how they must work. That is very, very important. In fact, just for the sake of it, all of you are using ATM debit cards for withdrawal of cash from ATM. The bank that has given you the ATM debit card, it now you have this concept of green pin or pin that is not paper driven, that is sent through an OTP that is sent to your mobile, and that OTP has a validity time, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 days, 10 days, as the case may be. Now, when you go to that ATM, one of the ATMs I have just recently I went, so I found that there is a warning that ATM is giving that whenever you type your PIN, please press it with your hand. Cover your hand before you give PIN number in the keypad. That is controls. So we'll be talking lot of controls, how they have to be put in place. Then acknowledge risk and controls of various business processes. Very, very, very important. You have a business process. It is going to have risk. So a risk has to be mitigated, reduced by implementing what you call as controls. But before you implement control, you need to assess, you need to do what we call as vulnerability assessment. And based on that assessment, controls will be put in place. Grasp the understanding on the structure, flow of business process, related risks and controls. Very, very, very important. How the business is going, what is the transaction flow, what can be the gap, what controls need to be put in place, that idea. If the control is not there, what is the risk if you don't put the control in place? That is very important. Comprehend the regulatory framework for all this. So that is the whole idea behind this chapter. This is all that we are going to learn about. Yeah, Hetvi, you have to, Hetvi, yes. Put all your responses in the chat. Yes. Okay. Then, so let me read this. These are very good lines from the module itself. Introduction. In today's connected world, where information flows at the speed of light, success of an organization depends on its ability to respond to fast changing environment. The capability of any organization depends on its ability to take fast decisions. Just the example I gave you, that this dairy product company is supplying butter to, say, defense establishment. They are at far off locations. So the butter has to go into trucks, logistics management. So a company that is able to track the temperature inside the refrigerator van, and a company that is not able to track the refrigerator van temperature, which is going to have bigger success? The one that is able to track that and respond to it, that becomes integrated system. In fact, few words that you carry, please understand, logistics management is a revolution. Those of you who have any association with transportation business, put some mind, heart into it over the previous 5 years. Phenomenal technology input is there in logistics, GPS tracking of the trucks, temperature tracking of refrigerator van, how much stoppage the drivers are taking, where they are stopping. Everything is part of tracking mechanism. So the organization which can track non-compliances and respond to it fast is going to get more success. The solution to this problem is provided by enterprise information system by collecting numerous crucial business data, by collecting data from numerous crucial business processes like manufacturing, production, finance, accounting, sales, marketing, HR, storing the data in single central depository so that when data is centrally stored, the person who is going to take action, he or she must know what action is supposed to be taken on that data. Just look at this. So what you're basically nothing, not a single word till now I have said has been theory, all practical. That is exactly what your subject is about. The only thing that I want you to do is conceptualize, visualize the thing they are happening, and then create a draft how you need to write that. That is what is needed in the subject. Someone did ask, sir, is it easy subject? To me, it's very, very easy and very scoring. Okay. Yeah, service industry, Dhanesh, are good example. But if you look from technology inputs taken by like manufacturers, logistics, transporters, dairy product suppliers, normal goods suppliers, then the impact will be visual. The impact you can calculate, see like that. An EIS may be defined as any kind of information system which improves the function of an enterprise business process by integration. So see, suppose I ask you, just for the sake of understanding, I say business process and I say integration. Which of the two was born first? I say business process and I say integration. Kiska janm pehle hua? Who was born first? You have to say this is born first, like that. So what you're basically looking at, the objective purpose, that when I say enterprise information system, what I am looking at, how to integrate the business processes of my enterprise. EIS provides a technology platform that enables organizations to integrate and coordinate their business process on a robust foundation. Absolutely fantastic. What you are looking at, that once organization starts working, once they put their business process in place, then you start the process of integration. So all of you answered correctly. Business process is born first. That is, now just imagine the name of the chapter. The name of the chapter is automated business process. So first you created a business process, then went for automation. And once you talk about automation, you talk about integration. That is how it is there. Someone decided to say, no, sir, it is integration. No, please understand, Tisha, in the reference we were talking, business process is first. In the chronology of events, business process is first. Okay. Then talking about enterprise business process. Great. Okay. So let us read through this. A business process is an activity or set of activities that will accomplish a specific organizational goals. Business processes are designed as per vision, mission of top management. Business processes are reflection of entities, management, thought process. The success or failure of an organization is dependent on how meticulously business processes have been designed and implemented. Very, very important line. So business process is what top. So it's basically a top-down thing. It starts from the top. How management imagines its entity, how they want to create an entity. That is how they talk about business processes. Business process management helps an organization achieve 3 E's of business processes. That is effectiveness, efficiency, economy. Effectiveness of result, efficiency of performance, economy of cost. So if you have a business process and you want these three E's to be there, then you need to have something called as business process management. BPM is a systematic approach to improving these processes to improve their effectiveness, efficiency, and economy. BPM is an all round activity working on a 24/7 basis to ensure improvement in all parameters all the time. Very, very, very important. This is, I request all of you to carry this slide. uh, Being online and because it's being a recorded lecture, so not many things can be named by companies. But I can tell you that organizations that you see today in India have become really big. You know, okay, let me put this question to you. You are seeing a lot of things in this white or bright colored brackets. So I'm reading develop and manage products and services, market, sell, deliver products. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and roughly 14 such boxes are there. What I want you to tell me in the chat, suppose I want my organization to grow, say 10 years after, to be a big organization, which of the cell or which of the boxes is going to be triggered first? Of all the 14 boxes that are visible on screen, which box will be triggered first if I want to start an organization today and make it big, say 10 years or 15 years in future? Just give idea. Let me read through that now. So what my question is, you have to tell the box, which box is going to be triggered first if I want to create a large organization 10, 15 years ahead. Like the period that you're all growing, by the time you all become chartered accountants, believe me, we as a country are doing phenomenally well. By the time you become chartered accountants, will be right now by GDP terms, we are top 5. By the time you become chartered accountants, it is expected that we will be top 4. And the way things are moving, the geopolitics of things as they are, India is going to be on top of the world. So you have huge, huge opportunity to create, make. Government is promoting what you call as startups. Just start imagining that what is that one thing you are going to think about when you become a chartered accountant and want to launch your startup. Which one bracket you are going to pick? Let me read through. Okay. Oh, so you answered. Great. Good. So all of you have answered correctly. Claps for all of you. So that is vision and strategy. Very good. So the first bracket that is hit is vision and strategy. What I want to become, how I want to become. Then rest is all implementation part. Let us read through them. So enterprise, business, process, model, vision and strategy, business planning, merger. So I have a vision. I'll not name them, but let us tell you. So early 2000, one of the big corporates decided that 15 years. So early 2000, they planned for 2015. They will only be in those business where they are top 5 in the world. So they created a vision. We want to be top 5. We'll do only business where we are in top 5 of that business in the world. So when you do that, then what? How you implement? So that company I'm talking about, they went for huge mergers, acquisition. They bought plants across the world, ensuring by 2015 they were top 5 in all those products they were manufacturing. So once you decide this I want to do, then you plan according. So planning will include you merge yourself, you acquire your new business because you want to grow like that. And the third bracket of vision, strategy, business management today has gained lot of importance. Governance and compliance. Governance and compliance relate to your SA 250, SA 260, and SA 265. The core is you are going to find there. So 250, compliance with other laws and regulations. 260 communication with those charged with governance, 265 communication internal control deficiencies to those charged with governance. So please understand, governance and compliance become very important aspect for all top management. So that becomes vision, strategy, and business management. Second aspect is operational management, operational processes that include develop management products and services, marketing of those products, delivering of those products, and managing the customer services. Because finally, what is going to matter is your interaction with your customer, how you are supplying to your customers. And these are back-end processes that includes HR management, technology management, financial management, facilities management, legal, regulatory, environment, health, and safety management. Probably you have all read Factories Act, external relationship management, the compliance issues, external other departments, knowledge improvement, and change management. So that is how a business process model looks like. Very, very, very important. Let us see how you have all answered. Great. Vision and strategy. Perfect. Then, depending on organization, industry, and nature of work, business process are often broken up into different categories that includes operational processes, supporting processes, and management processes. Let us take them one by one. So I'll read. So it is going to come together. Operate. So let us read from bottom up. Operational processes. So I'm doing from bottom up, okay, starting from downside. So post the management process, it is an operational manager to implement the decisions in actual working form. So basically operational processes are doing the hard work. Okay. Like office, the core audit work is done by say all of you like articles. So that is operational processes. Okay. Then support processes come above that. For all activities to be done as envisioned by top management, a huge effort is needed on human resource fund. So who is going to do? So that planning aspect is support. Management process, this company I've talked about. It's from the module itself. So just look, if you can just think of the name of the company, just put your head to it, you'll get to know the company. So management process and deciding vision. So this is how you go about. So the basic approach is top down. The top management has to create a vision and start implementing the vision. So operational and primary process deal with core business, value chain. These processes deliver value to customer by helping to produce a product or service. Operational process represent essential business activities that accomplish business objectives. For example, generating revenue, O2C, order to cash, procurement, purchase to pay. That is okay. Then supporting processes are back core processes, functions within an organization. For example, HR. One key differentiator between operational and supporting process is that support processes do not provide value directly to customer. They're at the back end. Operations are the direct interaction with customer is basically at the operational end. However, it should be noted that hiring the right people for the right job is very important for efficiency, effectiveness of any enterprise. So operational process, the core activities, support process, which are helping those core activities to be performed. So two operational processes have been given. Order to cash, procure to pay. The huge discussion. There is flowchart discussion in this chapter, second chapter also. So we'll be talking in fourth chapter also. We'll create reference to O2C and P2P. That is how these cycles are called. Order to cash and procure to purchase to pay, like that. So very, very important. Operational process and supporting process. Okay, lot of you have guessed it, but none is correct. Name of the company. Okay. Then management process. Very, very, very important. Management process: measure, monitor, and control activities related to business procedures and system. So example of management process include internal communication, governance, strategic planning, budgeting, and infrastructure or capacity management. Very, very, very important. In fact, I'm taking this from your costing. I think costing you all have been reading this marginal costing, utilization, at what percentage of plant capacity utilization you get your break even point, at what percentage of sale you get your break even points. So all this analysis is very, very, very important. Like supporting processes, management processes do not provide value directly to customers, but they have a deep impact on the operational efficiency, effectiveness of, and also economy of the way enterprise is working. Very, very, very important. Okay, so being online, I'll not be able to say the name of the company, but now, yes, we have got the correct answer, and it is by G.R. Kanaki Harani. If I've, yeah, Kanaka Harini. Okay, Kanaka Harini. Yeah, so she got it correct. Okay, Priyanka. So you've not started costing. In fact, see, to me, this subject is like it's king of all the subjects. Whatever you are going to study, any location, it will be implemented here. So I call this king subject. Whatever you said, believe me, we have talked about standard and auditing. I've referred to costing. We'll be talking about taxation, direct, indirect, accounting standards. Everything will be here. So whatever you study in every subject comes here. So I always say ours is a king subject, like that. Okay. Now, so just run through this flowchart given. So you have the vision. Based on that, you create a strategic plan, business goal, a revenue projection, cost projection, profit projections, approvals, and review. Very, very, very important. Okay. So I just, what you can take is there are a lot and lot of subjects, things I am going to refer to. So I'll request you to please refer to those links. So if I say costing, if I've said SA 250, 260, 265. So I want you to, sometime in previous batches, students did ask me, sir, what we need to note. So all these things you keep a note of. So wherever I give, because we are basically doing from the module has to be in front of you. The PPTs are there with you. So what you do, just keep a tag, SA 250, 260, 265. So that is going to create an interest, and it is going to create the passion to learn this subject. That is what has to be brought. Okay. A big discussion today's, our core discussion will be on this one, automated business processes. Okay. Today, technology innovations are increasing day by day. Yes. So as we go ahead, we all have faced COVID, March 2020. What I want to write in the chat, at least one business process near your residential locality. Please understand, you need not go across the globe. I want you to give answer to this simple question, that March 2020, we are in March 2022 and ahead, 2.5 years have crossed. March 2020 till date, within this 2.5 years, there is one business process which has evolved due to technology, which has fundamentally changed itself due to technology. That business you had a direct interaction with. What I want, that you have to name that business. Sir, this business has adopted technology. Just name the business. That will allow us to create a very good discussion. Today, technology innovations are increasing day by day. Technology is becoming easily available. Cost of accessing and using technology is going down. In fact, this during this whole geopolitical things that are going across the world, this issue has come up that our UPI payment is being sought out by the world across, that how you are doing such a digital thing. And one of the key components of success of our digital payment platform is availability of internet, and availability of internet at virtually no cost. Worldwide internet costs are very, very high than what we have in our country. So it has been a huge enabler. Internet connectivity in terms of speed and geographical spread is increasing day by day. Yes, we already have 5G rollout in multiple cities now. Companies are coming up with 5G. That is already increasing the speed of connectivity, quality of connectivity, nature of business processes that you can do. All these factors are having a profound impact on the business processes being used by an entity. Very, very, very important. Yeah, so you have all brought it here. Online marketing, teaching, coaching institute, Flipkart, Amazon, they were there. Education, coaching classes, shopping through e-commerce. Okay, someone selling namkeen. So I understand that Jagdish Namkeen is in Baroda or Rajkot. Okay. Banking, OTT platform. Yes. Insurance business, education, classes. Yes. So I think this e-chocolate has to go to Jash. Our own institute, ICAI, has phenomenally adopted technology, and it's a revolution. Digital Learning Hub is a revolution. I know data that is old. I'm sharing that data. There's a concept of CPE, continuing professional education, where we members, chartered accountants, have to attend classes, attend lectures, seminar, conferences. On after DLH, the total number of CPE credit hours which members have been allotted. I know a figure that is old. It is subject to update, but the old figure is 4 crore CPE hours. It's a phenomenal information. So this e-chocolate will credit goes to Jash. Then Zomato, online teaching, education, UPI, news, great. Newspaper, Parthasarthi, fantastic. Work from home, very good. E-commerce, FMCG, institutes, so Abhijit also gets a credit. Medicines available, yes, you order and you get delivery. Imagine the changes the technology has brought. Then medical business, pharmaceutical, medicines, home delivery of food through online, okay, for blockchain, digital technology, digital learning, hotel industry. Then is it management principles? Yeah, agreed. Work from home, knowledge process outsourcing. Yeah, it had been there, but Ola, Uber, this taxi aggregators. Yes, so I think this also needs sharing of e-chocolate. Kanaka Harini. Yeah, do best to pronounce it correctly. So that these are the revolutions which are there. And just understand, you all are from all across India, and this digital platform has allowed institute to launch these classes on an all India basis. So it's absolutely, I consider this as a revolution. Okay. This is a direct question in exam. Okay. So whatever you learn, see, our जैसे महाभारत में अर्जुन को सिर्फ चिड़िया की आंख दिखती थी, वैसे ही हमारा लक्ष्य होना चाहिए. Whatever we learn, our core purpose has to be very clear. We want 80% to score in examination. Okay. How you are going to do that is we are going to learn. So there are going to be questions, there are going to be answers. How you are going to improve quality of answers is bringing these examples, bringing these live cases. That I want you to note at appropriate locations. Okay. So the success of any business process automation shall only be achieved when these are ensured. What are these? These are very, very, very important words just for the sake of it. There are 4 words. The top 3 words are going to be used in technology today, tomorrow when you come to final student. When you become chartered accountants, when you go for post-qualification courses, when you go for implementation of system, these three words are going to exist at every location. Very, very important. So when the question that would be asked is factors affecting the success of business process automation. So what are those factors? First, confidentiality. Second, integrity, availability, timeliness. Let us read. Let us create an example for each of this. Okay. So confidentiality. To ensure that data is available to person who have right to see the same. Now see what I want you to give example. So what example you are going to give? So this I want you to note. Example for confidentiality. Creating passwords, giving access, how you implement it. See how you ensure it. So how you are going to ensure confidentiality by creating passwords, giving access authorizations. That is how you create confidentiality. So if I have a password, say in Tally, if I have a data entry password, I can create voucher. If I have data entry password, I cannot create master. Or if I can create voucher, I cannot alter voucher. That is confidentiality. The right person has the right access. That's confidentiality. Second, integrity. To ensure that no unauthorized amendments can be made in data. To restrict unauthorized amendments. So how you implement integrity is through controls, through security, through firewalls. Each of the word is going to come in subsequent chapters. So how you implement integrity? Through proper security, through proper controls, through implementing firewalls. That is. Then availability, to ensure that data is available when asked for. I'm taking a very different example. We'll bring that here again. Availability. Say now because travel has opened, a lot of people are traveling, and December is a holiday month, and that we are all reading the news daily. There's a huge congestion at Delhi airport. Same congestion is at the railway stations also. And you and I travel by train. So we have to book our ticket on train, through train itself. And then we have tried to book our ticket through Tatkal reservation on train. So you go for booking ticket, and then many times when you log in for Tatkal booking, you're just not able to log in. So resources not available. Availability. When you need, it must be available. That is ensuring availability. How you ensure? So there are very specific technology driven attacks. So to ensure availability is, you need to ensure proper systems are there, proper backup mechanisms are there, proper controls are there to ensure availability. And timeliness. Yes, data must be available at the right time in the right format. So timeliness is the data has to be available at the right time in right format. That is timeliness. To ensure that all above parameters are met, business process automation needs to have appropriate controls put in place. So we have added some value to the process by creating examples for each of them. It's a direct question in examination. Now, because see, we all also need to learn how to answer question in examination. Suppose this question comes in examination, factors affecting business process automation success. I want you to write in the chat box, what shall be your para 1? You have to say P1. I'll write one word in P1, this I'll write. Just write there in the chat. You have made a lot of comments in the chat. Let me just review them. Very good. Jyoti has brought a very good point. Confidentiality is part of ethics also. Fantastic. Great. Yeah, Shri, it's there. Shri Sai coming. Yeah. Yes, IRCTC portal. Lalit Priya, availability. Good. No. Good. Pranav has put a very good question. Few questions also get e-chocolate. So there's a very sharp difference between confidentiality and integrity. Confidentiality is the right person has the right access. Integrity is to ensure that there cannot be unauthorized access. See, the definition creates the way you look at controls. So is this very clear difference between the two. Okay. Good. So para 1, you have answered. Good. So see, in para 1, you define BPA. So we need to structure our answer in examinations also. So whenever question comes which has some technical word to define, please where a technical word is there and you have to write some points for the technical word. My take is first define the technical word and then start answering. So many of you have said correctly. So first define what is business process automation and then start with para 2 opening line, the factors affecting and then examples we are sharing. So para 1, para 2, para 3. That is how your most of your answers need to look like. Great. So para 1 has to be definition. So when this question comes in examination, what you start? Define what is business process automation and then the factors. That is how I want it to be done. And so we are adding structure to your answer. Second, by giving examples, you will be adding value to your answer. So that will allow you to score much better. That is how we want to look at this. Okay. Then next is again very important. So second question in exam. Benefits of automating business process. What benefits accrue when you automate your business process? Parul says, so para 3 will not be there. Okay. So if I put my examples along with the definitions in para 2, the job is done. But my point is clear. Para 1 is the core definition. Para 2, the main content, and para 3, live example. That is how it has to look like. Yeah. Thank you, Parul. So now we are answering the next question. What are the benefits of automating business process? Para 1, you know. Let us go to para 2. It ensures quality and consistency. Now see, what exactly is the idea? When you automate business process, you know what happens? Because it is going to work as per system-defined definitions. So it is going to ensure that the consistency is maintained at each level of operation. In fact, just as an example, say you buy Amul ice cream across India. The quality is same. The taste is same. Let us talk about, say, Domino's Pizza or McDonald's Burger. They have created SOP. I don't know whether you have read those SOP. I had the pleasure of reading the standard operating procedure of making burger. Okay. It means that SOP itself will be seen hundreds of pages how to make a burger like that. So what it means is that when you create consistency about that water purifier, so consistency means whenever the resin level reaches 25% of the total, it is going to generate a message. Consistency. That is quality. Quality is like anyone who is in grain business or cotton making business. So whenever raw material is brought to flour mill from wheat to wheat flour when they want to make, or from bulk cotton, they want to make cotton yarn. So they check the moisture content in this. So quality check. So you automate your business process. You have automatic machines which ensure the quality check is consistently there. So that is very, very, very important. Ensure that every action is performed identically, resulting in high quality, reliable results, and stakeholders will consistently experience the same level of service. That is why sometimes we travel far off at remote locations. And if there is a branded product, we want to buy that branded product. Why? Because we know the taste and the quality of the product. So because their systems are automated, that it ensures quality of business process. If you have seen bakery, channels, they show this manufacturing process of cookies, biscuits at bakery. So big plants, 100% automation. So because 100% automation is there, quality is consistent. That is. Then time saving. Yes. Automation reduces the number of tasks employees would otherwise need to do manually. It's a robotic process. So once it is automated, it goes on doing its job without needing a break itself. It frees time to work on items that are genuine value to business, allowing innovation and increasing employees' level of motivation. So all this manual, mechanical, clerical jobs can be automated so that the employees are brought for, say, escalation issues, better quality, improvement. Those things are brought. Visibility. Automated processes are controlled and they are consistently operate accurately within defined timeline. Perfect. You can check. Then improved operational efficiency. Automation reduces the time it takes to achieve a task, the effort required to undertake, and the cost of completing it successfully. So it's predefined. Everything is tracked through system. Automation not only ensures systems run smoothly and efficiently, but that errors are eliminated and the best practices are constantly leveraged. In fact, I was just watching this video on one of the TV channels, that food technology. So I enjoy watching all those things. So food technology. So it was a fully automated plant. The beverages was being filled in a glass bottle, cold drink in a glass bottle. So they had a scanner. Now, what that scanner was doing, it was checking the level till which the bottle is filled by that automatic machine. So if the glass bottle was not filled till the brim, the scanner, the laser scanner will track it. And as soon as a slightly less filled bottle is there, there was a blower. So the blower is going to blow air so that that bottle is thrown away and the conveyor belt carries the others. So that operational efficiency. You can watch these. So these are, see, please understand, all this relates to the way you are doing your business. So all this, our topic heading is automating business processes. Okay. Then governance and reliability. Very, very, very important. The consistency of automated process means stakeholders. I want you to write in the chat. Stakeholders include whom? Stakeholders means what? Okay, so I want you to say these are stakeholders. Then I'll read from the chat. So consistency of automated process means stakeholders can rely on business processes to operate and offer reliable processes to customer, maintaining a competitive advantage. So once your processes are reliable, the competitive advantage is going to automatically come on that. Reduce turnaround time means the time that you need to react to do it again. Eliminate unnecessary tasks and realign the process steps to optimize the flow of information throughout production, service, billing, and collection. Please understand, these are pure accounting issues. You are all chartered accountants, so you must be able to keep a tag of this. Okay. So once an item has been produced, it has to be sent for dispatch. Once dispatched, the bill has to be generated. Once bill has been generated, collection has to be there. That was that order to cash cycle. Now, because you have sold a product, service of the product could be an issue. So how system ensures that this turnaround time is managed? It is reduced. See, just take it as a very simple example. Imagine two entities, an entity whose system is integrated, automated. What is the level of integration? As soon as item is produced, it goes to dispatch. As soon as dispatch is there, system generates bill. As soon as system generates bill, it is emailed, physically sent to the vendor, and the collection department starts a job. There is no time lag between any linked process. Imagine another entity, production is there, then the production department does not inform the sales department that the goods are ready. Now, salesperson, he or she is on leave. 5 days after, when the person joins the company, he goes to production. Did you manufacture the product? Production shouts, yes, we manufactured 5 days back. Whom do you inform? No integrated system. Now salesperson knows that the product is there. So they dispatch. They dispatch, they do not inform accounts department for billing. When inventory is taken at the end of the month, the accounts department finds that these 10 items of inventory produced are not available. They run to the salespeople, dispatch people. Did you dispatch? Yes, we dispatch. Imagine. So that is the core automation. What you have done? Integrated the process. So business that is going to integrate all these processes is going to do it very effectively and efficiently. The one who is not integrating is going to lose money, time, and probably they may not survive in business. This adjustment of processes distills operational performance, reduces turnaround time for both staff and external customer. Perfect. Cost is reduced. You can take this example. An integrated process where production, dispatch, billing, accounting, collection are integrated. Non-integrated production, dispatch, billing, accounts, collection, not integrated. The gap is so big. So if the gap is so big, when there is no integration, you are going to lose money. The person who has integrated, he is going to survive. That is important. That is. So this is a very intense discussion. The previous one, let me run through your queries. Good. So I had a question, stakeholders. So I'm reading your stakeholders. So Anand says customers, Vidya says shareholders, Anand vendors, Rohit users, Alok investors, Jyoti stakeholders means shareholders. Anand says employee, Vardhan shareholders, Vidya consumers. Aman gives a general answer. I wanted specific. Parul, Mohammed, government, employee, owner, worker, creditor. So this is chocolate goes to Mohammed. Then Hiral, securities, broker, security holders like shareholders or debenture holders. Good. Then Hani says investors, Harsh, owner, Lalit Priya, shareholder, bank, creditor, and all those people who are related to company. Good. So the e-chocolate is shared. Okay, good. So many of you say, very good. Fantastic. So getting it. So these are stakeholders. So automation benefits all these stakeholders. Now, there's a question that probably is not there, but just give it a thought to in your mind. What you do, create a question in your mind. What benefit each stakeholder has? So consider employee. So employee efficiency improves. Consider manager. Manager performance improves. Consider board of director. Company profitability improves. Consider shareholders. Dividend profit improves. Dividend improves. Consider government. Company is improving, performing better. Tax collection goes up. Consider creditors. Company is doing well. Their payments are secured. Consider debtors because company is doing well, working efficiently. The economy of scale will be there. Probably the cost of the product for debtor may be reduced. So each of these going to have a related benefit. That is how we need to link all these processes. So Mogili Palli Swati has a question. Difference between efficiency and effectiveness. So I'm allowing you to answer. There's a key component, difference between efficiency and effectiveness. You try to answer, then I'll answer. You have to answer efficiency and effectiveness. Okay. Then which processes should be automated, or we can say which processes probably can be automated. Again, a separate question. Let us read. Processes involving high volume of task or repetitive tasks, processes requiring, so we have talked about that. Clerical, mechanical jobs can be automated. In fact, you look to this channels during articleship, those who have a pleasure of doing articleship, or those who are, once you start your articleship, and if you are going to a manufacturing concern, please do visit their factory to see how manufacturing is being done. In this online channels also, if you see this car manufacturing, lot of automation, computer manufacturing, lot of automation, this assembly lines, there are robotic arms which place the components of the cars. So where repetitive tasks are there, those processes have been automated and robotic implementations have been done. Then processes requiring multiple people to execute. So if many people do same job, the chance of error by one can affect the other person also. So there you can think of automation to reduce the possibility of multiple errors creeping in. Time sensitive, those jobs which have to be done in a very specific given time frame. Processes involving need for compliance and audit trail. Yes, lot of automated audit tools, audit trail tracking systems are there now. Processing having significant impact on other processes and systems. This we have already talked about, that this is basically creating an idea about integrating system. This is very important. Next question. What are the challenges when you go for business process automation? First, so we'll again try to create examples. Automating redundant processes. See, redundant processes basically mean which probably have no relevance, which may be outdated like that. So you need to, which are old processes. So we need to define a way how these are going to be automated. Very, very important. Then defining complex processes like complex manufacturing, complex decision-making process, how you automate those. So you have to put a lot of design effort, understanding effort to create automation for this complex design processes. Staff resistance. Yes, one thing, change is one thing that is constant. Change is always going to happen. Other than the books that you all read, institute module, during the course of discussion, I'll be sharing some books probably as a student you must read, and the one that I'm asking you to read now is the one that I read every year. The name of the book is Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. Please read it. Who Moved My Cheese. It's a very good book, a very thin book. It is available online, PDF you can download. And it is basically about change. Anticipating change and responding to change. That is. So just for the sake of this discussion, like I see next 3 years, 5 years, today we have laptops, desktop, iPads, mobiles, and many such PDA devices you are using. So our exams are still paper and pen. So I see 3 years, 5 years, your paper will all be online like that. So change, anticipating change and responding to change. That is important. So third is staff resistance. So what staff resist is whenever you want to automate, they are going to resist because there is apprehension. There is a fear factor that if this job is automated, my job will go. But that is, it has not to be like that because the change is constant. Technology is evolving. New things are coming. So you, once you become chartered accountant, you will have to evolve. You have to learn new things so that you don't become outdated. Same applies for staff where the businesses are being automated and implementation cost of business process automation. So the challenges involved in business process automation include how to automate redundant processes, complex processes, how to cope with staff resistance, and the overall implementation cost of automation. Because this is a very, very big topic, let us look to your queries. So now we'll be talking about BPA implementation. Okay, so this is a question by Parul. Reduce turnaround time and time saving. Good. So reduced turnaround time is more for people who are part of the organization, who are going to be decision makers. So if I have got my integrated system, for me to respond to that, that time is fast. Okay. Time save could be a generic word. It could be applicable to the whole organization. So for operational processes, Reduced turnaround time is benefiting the whole people who are part of the process. Time saving, it can take care of external factors like customer gets supply early. So time saving has more to do with an organizational frame. Then effectiveness is quality of job variance, and efficiency or effectiveness is the quality of the job done, and efficiency is the time taken to do. So efficiency is a time variance built into it. Mohammed, effectiveness is quality of the job and efficiency is the time part. Great. So most of you have tried to answer it correctly. Good. Then we talked about the word audit trail. So my understanding is that you have read audit, but because Pritika has asked, so let me answer that. Audit trail is basically the whole chain, the link. Let me do it with an example. Suppose you are auditing purchase vouchers. So when you start the purchase voucher audit, you look for the purchase invoice, vendor's invoice. You look for the vendor invoice. Then in the vendor invoice, there is a vendor, there's a price of the product, there's a quality of the product, there's a quantity of the product, there's a taxation of the product. So you ask the company, you purchase from this vendor. So at this price, did you authorize that price? So yes, the company tells you, yes, we gave this vendor purchase order. So you ask for the purchase. So purchase invoice, then you link it to. So you have the purchase invoice, then the purchase order. Purchase order is given to the vendor. You supply this quantity at this rate, this price, this taxation, this delivery term. Then you have another question. You gave order to this vendor, but did you have a comparative? So your purchase manager tells, yes, we got quotations from 4 vendors. So he shows you the comparative of the 4 vendor quotation. Then you ask for the quotations also to see whether it is genuine. So what you started from purchase invoice, then you ask for purchase order, then you ask for comparative, then you ask for quotation. Then there's another question. Okay, if quotation was issued, so did someone in the company request for the product? Was the product needed? So the purchase manager tells, yes, we got an indent from the stores or indent from the production. You ask for the indent. So you get the indent. Then you can ask another question. If you get an indent, then you can ask the production or the stores manager, okay, when you raise indent for this product, what was the level of inventory when you raise the indent? So the stores manager or production manager tells you that this inventory has reached its reorder level. So you check the reorder level in system. Now see, just allow me to make the link again. The purchase invoice, the purchase order, the comparative, the quotation, the indent. This whole chain is what you call as audit trail. Our example for audit trail is relevant for purchase audit. Same will be relevant for any other audit that you are doing. So audit trail is basically linking the source to the object of the transaction. That whole chain is called as audit trail. Okay. Then, yeah. So Prabhat, redundant those are outdated. Those are which have been very old processes like that. So then automating very old processes sometimes become tough. Then Mohammed talked about EOQ, economic order quantity. Yeah. Okay. So that is there. Now we want to start this topic, BPA implementation. So generally, I think 7:30 we take a break. So what I'll do, it's a very important topic, very detailed topic to go into. We'll be doing it lot of practicals into it. So right now we'll just have an introduction to this topic, and post break we are going to talk about this. Okay. So BPA implementation, now exactly what you're looking at. What I'll do, I'll create a case. Like you all said, this entities have adopted technology. So what I'll do, I'll take a case from my locality where I am living. Their grocery seller in my hometown They went for automation and they did unbelievable business. So what we'll do, we'll take that case and now each step we will see what they did and then see the impact of that. Just for letting the interest there, this snack seller, because that time COVID, the very strict lockdown of March 2020, no one can go out, but food delivery services were allowed. So this entity, they they had a whole factory. They configured the factory to manufacture bread, biscuits, cookies, and they created a very simple technology, implemented the technology, allowed people to use it, and in 1 month during COVID, May 2020, they did business that was equal to, in fact, not equal to, more than their previous whole year's turnover. Unimaginable. BPA implementation. So we'll do it practically with live example. That is why I asked you to share what businesses you have seen which have adopted technology. So what we'll be doing, we'll see the business, the way it adopted technology. I'll give you idea about the cost also, and I'll give you the benefit they got from implementation of BPA. Okay. So let us read the steps. BPA implementation, defined why we plan to implement BPA. So why? So first word is why business process automation. Second, understand the rules and regulations under which enterprise needs to comply with. This is very, very important. Please understand. Governance compliance was one of the part of vision strategies we talked about. Today, whatever activity we do, statutory compliance has become very, very, very important. So even when you're going for business process automation, you have to see what statutory compliances are there, what rules, regulation compliances are there built into it. Then document the process you want to automate. Very important. Business is so large. So business has a cash payment process, a credit payment process, a purchase process, a manufacturing process, a inventory process, a sales order collection process, a purchase order delivery process. Which process you want to automate? So I'm putting this question to you. Given the discussion you are having, given what you understand of so many businesses that you talked about, suppose you have to select to an entity which process entity is going to automate. So what you can do, the examples you said, say many of you said online coaching. So you can say online coaching, this process was automated. Many of you say grocery seller. Grocery seller, this process was automated. Please comment on that. I am on point number 3. Document the process we wish to automate. So what you're going to answer in the chat, the nature of business, and as per your understanding, which process they need to automate. Then define the objectives and goals to be achieved by implementing business process automation. Very, very important. This is the process to be automated. This is what you need to achieve. Why? Why this process? So fourth is more linked to the third one, that if you automate this, this is what you're going to get. Engage business process consultant to decide as to which company consultant to partner with. Depends upon the following. We'll be talking about in detail. But step 5 is, I told you at the start of this session that business process consultation, business process automation, implementation is going to be a huge business you are going to get once you become chartered accountants. So step 5 is for you as future chartered accountants, business process consultant. Then calculate ROI. I think you all have been reading return on investment. So what is the ROI? So what is the investment in the technology for automation and ROI? I'll tell you the example, the ROI phenomenal. We'll share with some values also. Develop the business process automation. And once that automation is done, testing it before making it live for public usage. So I'm looking for answer to question number 3, the process that you wish to be automated. Let us read. See, any one of you who has questions regarding examination, I am not the person to answer. Please write to the institute, EIS _ that inter email ID. Okay. Then Dhyanesh says transactions. Harsh says online coaching distribution, online exams. Priyanka says grocery business, the order placing was automated. Vardhan, very good. Grocery inventory management. I think the credit for e-chocolate has to be there for Vardhan. Jyoti, coaching classes, grocery delivery of goods, net banking. PM Charitha, ICI process of registration, admission along with purchasing books. Okay, good. Tisha, online shopping, ICI, Mohammed says class, availability of class. Okay. Grocery, educational, teaching, test taking. I think that is also good. Kurapati, Shri Lakshmi. Pranav, grocery order, Harsh, large student range. Yes. Alok, education, digital PDF. Petla, Petla Wala Kujema, education can sell courses all over India. Great. Across the world. Fantastic. Education, online, hotel, payment, UPI system, education institutes, online coaching. Parul, how to take order? So she has put a question. I'll answer that. Uh, Abhay, payments. Prabhat says sales process. Object of, yes. So Prabhat also gets a e-chocolate. Okay. Balaji, okay. Priyanka, in the pharma industry, the whole market of placing order and payment system was automated. Very good, Priyanka. Good. Then Mogili Palli Swati, online practical training. Yeah. So Parthas is a digital newspaper. Good. Then Danesh, online exam. Mohammed Islam, ETC. Please, full form. Vanita says home delivery of products. Great. Hiral, automating the physical examination into online, need to automate, keep eye on. Hiral brings a risk. Okay. But it is good. Then Manjunath, purchase of tickets online. Yes. Great. So all these processes could be automated. Now, because we want to go in detail and it's roughly 19.27, one more distance education online order. Okay, we have got that. So I think we'll take that our 10 minutes break. It is 19.28. So we are having a break. We will reassemble on 19.38. So it's a break. Okay, so good evening, students. Back. So I had a good tea. Thank you. Now I read all your responses, so I need to clap for all of you. You have been doing great. Means your responses tell me that you have good understanding of the issues which are being brought, and it gives me confidence that you will all be able to make our target score of 80% in examination. So you have been a great participant. I don't know whether you know it, but we have already hit virtually on the verge of hitting 500 runs. So that is, uh, we just had a record recently of number of centuries. So 500 runs we are making. Great. So now let me read the answer to the question I had put. So I had asked you to put me on step number 3, the process that you wish to automate. So let me read from the responses I got. So I had read till Vanitha, that was online order. Then Ch-1, automated bill booking of purchase sale accordingly, stock adjustment taxation report. Very good Ch-1. Varsha, home service, plumbing and cleaning. Great. Dhyanesh, marketing. Mohammed, electronic examination. Yes. In fact, someone did mark a issue with electronic examination, ensuring that the participant who is giving, he is not searching on Google like that, but that is good. Prabhat, credit beyond limit remote automatically to higher management. This Prabhat also requires an e-chocolate. Then tax report, Dhanesh has just, I got the message. Great. So these processes we need to automate. Now let us go in detail and I'll bring the practical examples. I'll share some background to the case I am bringing to you. And then you can see what I basically want. For these steps, there are cases in the module also. Okay. But remembering those cases is going to be tough. So you remember those cases, but the one that you have seen practically happening, you will be able to relate to that much better. So I want that. So I'll be sharing a case. There are cases in the module that there are cases that you know personally. So my take is that logically write that one that you have seen personally happening. Believe me, the quality of answer in that case is going to be phenomenal because you have all experienced that. That is what is needed. And that is what, when we talk about articleship, is about learning experience. So let us take one by one. Okay. So what I'll do, okay, let me bring the case that I have. So this case in my hometown relates to a very famous snack seller in my city. So in last week of March 2020, lockdown was there. So for whole world, that time COVID was something that came from outer space. No one knew how to respond, what to do. We all had that working in home, cleaning utensils, making food, brooming and cleaning of floors, mopping of floors. We all did it. No one knew how to respond to that. But within a period, people realized that the best is that we stay at home. But then when you stay at home, you require groceries on a regular basis, snacks on regular basis. So this very famous snack seller, he got this idea. So what they basically did, they created something called as a basic, simple Google form. They allowed that Google form to be shared across the city on WhatsApp. So it was shared with all people on WhatsApp. So it circulated across the city. People, they had the inventory of their items available. Then you place the order. The order has to be submitted. The order is received by someone in the company which is managing that form. The person sends you a payment link. So then you have to make a payment online. Many ways of paying that we all know. Once payment is received, they send you a confirmation that we have received payment. Within 24 hours of that, they will deliver. Now, I'm sharing this whole because then at each point we can discuss. They launched their app in May. In fact, the date, as if I know correctly, is 1st May 2020. They allowed this, started accepting order through this simple Google form. Within 1 month, to best I know, is they did business that was equal or even more than their last year's annual turnover. Food delivery was not restricted, so people could deliver foods during restriction also. Now let us keep this case as parallel, and then we'll try to mix merge. You have your own cases that you have talked about. Just relate to that, those cases, those live instances, live examples you have, and then we'll try to link it to this process of automation. Okay. I'm keeping this simple so that our understanding improves. Sometimes imagining big creates a trouble. If we can start with small things, our understanding is much better. So why we go for business process automation? First, good reason will be that there are errors in manual processes leading to higher cost. So there was an analysis done and it was found that lot of activities being done manually, they are subject to a lot of human error. So there you go for automation. Then it's a very different thing, paying for goods and services not received. So you find it can be on a reverse side also, that the billings are not proper, the collections are not proper, the dispatches are not proper. Then you have to make automation. You got that point that we talked about, that look from the reverse side, the other side of the coin, so that it creates a better understanding. Then also you can go for automation. Not being able to find documents quickly during audit or lawsuit, not being able to find all documents. In fact, why people go for automation? This is targeting automation of your books, automation of your documents. Chartered accountants, few of you may be going for articleship, few are going to go after you clear your examination. So once you go for articleship in any CA firm, the core of CA firm is documentation. What we as the members have to do is manage lot of documentation. That is become very critical. And then those documentation till some time back used to be in physical form. Now digitization is there, but still few aspects of profession are still in physical form. So how to keep a track of those documentation? So you go for automation of that aspect. Unable to recruit, train new employees, but where employees are urgently required. Yes, this is again important, that because the availability is restricted. In fact, just because you are in profession and going to learn about it, data analytics, artificial intelligence, these are growing field. Blockchain, someone talked about. So these are growing field. The trouble is that you don't have people in these field. So then you need to improve upon, bring new people into these field. And if availability is restricted, then you create automation so that the gap of non-availability of employee can be set right by automation. That is the idea. Many times management feels that their understanding of the business process is not very good. So let us have automation for the process so that when it becomes a system-driven process, not many questions will have to be asked. It will automatically survive on its own self. In the case that I have shared, which one we wish to pick? So this entity, this snack seller, went for customer level process automation. So let us take the first one, or the second one is going to be good, that they wanted to collect many orders from across the city. Just give me a second. We had a power off. Just give me a second. Okay. So define why we want to implement BPA. The first, let us go ahead. Then understand the rules and regulations under which enterprise needs to comply with when it is going for automation. So one of the most important steps in automating any business process is to gain an understanding of the rules of engagement where you are doing it, which includes the rules which need to be followed, adherence to regulation. The example that I'll take, I'll bring that also. Following documentation retention requirements. So if you're doing a business process automation, uh, you're from physical to online documentation you are going, then you need to look to for what period those physical documents need to be preserved. This governance is established by combination of company policy, corporate policies, external industry regulation, local, state or central tax laws. Entity needs to ensure BPA adheres to the requirement of law as it comes. In the example that I have talked about, that snack seller which automated. So when you're doing an automation, so all orders will be collected and then you have to do delivery. So the delivery that time, COVID 2020, March till I think July, we had a lockdown, July, August. So in that mandatory period of lockdown, those food delivery person had to comply with the COVID guidelines. So they had to have the mask, they need to carry sanitizers, how they are going to deliver. So it was a non-contact deliveries. So that is compliance with rules and regulation for whatever automation you are looking at. Very important. Then document the process you wish to automate. So now in our case, what process, the example I am taking, what process was being automated? The customer order collection. Let us see. What document need to be captured? So in this case, customer order. Where do they come from? In our case, from all across the city. What format they are in? Paper, fax, email, PDF. In this case, it was basically Google Form. This is basically what you're converting. So previously how it was there, now how you are automating. So in our case, now it is through Google Form. Previously, there was no concept of format because before lockdown, people will go to the shop and buy the product. But now you have to buy through form. Next is who is involved in processing of the document. In our example, who is involved in the processing of the document was once customer puts the sales order in, then the sales officer, the person who is reviewing the order, he or she is going to look at it. What is the impact of regulations on processing of these documents? If they are statutory documents, what is the impact on their collection? Hard copy, soft copy. In our case, they are not regulated by any specific regulation. So to that extent, that is irrelevant. Can there be a better way to do same job? Can we do it without automation? That question you have to seek an answer to. How are exceptions in processes handled? In our case, like someone of you did comment on inventory management automation. So this idea that you get customer orders, this entity, the snack seller, what they had a big team, a very well educated team. So suppose across the Indore, from the city that where I live in, the people give orders. Now all these orders are compiled at the day end, and suppose bread has to be produced. So next day, this order becomes their indent, the store's indent. So based on that, they go for manufacturing that much quantity of bread or cookies, as the case may be. But to manufacture that much quantity of bread, you require wheat flour, other components. So if that quantity of bread has to be delivered tomorrow, say for example, 1000 breads have to be delivered tomorrow. Available raw material today is only for 500 or say 600 breads. How you handle that exception? That is the step number 3. In fact, just updating that, once I placed an order to them, so one of the products was not available. So they had created a process of hand. So the person receiving the customer order, because the order will go through my mobile, so my mobile number is available with them. I immediately received a call. Sir, this item you have ordered, this is not available. Can we supply this? Last line. How you handle exception? That is. And this is very good defined in the module itself. Defining the objectives, goals to be achieved by implementing business process automation. Defining the SMART way. SMART is specific, clearly defined, measurable, quantifiable, attainable, achievable through best efforts, relevant. Entity must be in need of these and timely achieved within a given time frame. So let us multiply the options I've shared. Specific, clearly defined. So what was the goal? Get customer orders from across the city, because people cannot go out from their home, but they can use Google form, use their mobile, they can give order on that, collect it from all across the city. So specific, measurable, easily quantifiable in monetary terms. Yes, as the customer gives the order, the value is generated. This is to be received or paid. Attainable. Whatever is the goal. What was the goal in our case? Get customer orders and fulfill in 24 hours. Is it achievable? Yes. Relevant. Entity must be in need of these. Yes. So to this, you have this concept of SWOT. So in SWOT analysis, this becomes an opportunity. So this snack seller found it as an opportunity and they encashed it. Other snack sellers are also there in my hometown. They realized the impact of that. So then 1 month later, they brought their app. A few snack sellers developed their app, but the first mover advantage was already gone with that one. So entity is in need of the time. In the example I've shared, it was basically encashing a opportunity. Timely, yes. Last week of March, the lockdown was introduced. 1st May, the Google form was launched. Define the objective goals to be achieved by implementing BPA. So smart way, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, timely. That is how you look at it. Then this is for you and me. So once that implementation was done, in fact, what I did, I'll share that. So this is COVID to March 2020. Even before COVID, so the locality where I live, so there's a grocery store just outside my home colony. So I have been telling that person before COVID, means not March 2020, before COVID, that you must, because you're doing good in business, so you must allow customers to place order online. Allow the customer to place order online. You don't deliver. Ask them to come to your shop, pay and take away the goods. So it is going to save huge time. So engage business process consultant. So this is basically for you and me. Once you become chartered accountants, how the automation has to be done. What role business process consultant is going to have? Let us read. To decide as to which company consultant to partner with depends upon the following. Objectivity of the consultant in understanding, evaluating entity situation. How consultant is related to that. How consultant, what is the knowledge, the experience of the consultant. You go to a doctor. So when you go to a doctor, so you want to, suppose you have a some problem in ear. So you go to a ENT specialist. So if you have a problem in, say, your teeth, you go to a dentist. That is. So dentist is identified, ENT is identified. So when you go for a business process automation consultant, you want to see how that consultant is placed. Does the consultant have experience of that business? So you want to ask this question. Do you know how to automate a grocery business? Have you done it before? Then, is the consultant experienced in resolving critical business issues? Now, here is the answer to the question that I asked. I asked you that imagine the businesses that you said have been automated and write one line, which process could be automated. You have tried to give good answers, but the best answer would be that any business that goes for automation has to select which business. The answer is there, critical business for automation. So whichever is critical that you automate. In the snack seller example, what was the criticality? Getting customer orders, because no customer can physically move out. They found a solution to that, and it was first mover advantage. Phenomenal. Whether the consultant can recommend and implementing a combination of hardware, software, services as appropriate to meeting the enterprise BPA requirement. Now, this becomes a good line to remember. See, if you are going to hire a consultant, You need to see the capability. So experience is industry experience, capabilities, whether that consultant will be able to ensure that all aspects of BPA are taken care of. That includes hardware, software, and services. Does the consultant have required expertise to clearly articulate the business value of every aspect of proposed solution? Very, very important. So can the consultant has the capability? Does the consultant have the capability to define what is needed? So this is basically for you and me. Believe me, once you become chartered accountants and those of you who decide to go in practice, this one step 5 is going to be most value added practice that you're going to do. Business process consultation. ROI. So the example I have given, I am not very sure what was the cost. See, benefit was in crores of rupees turnover. Okay. And snack business is, it has a good GP, 20% GP, 20 to 25% GP they have. So they must have generated a turnover of, I think my calculation is some 10 crores turnover. So multiply by 25%, that is 2.5 crores. And cost of creating and that whole system will be not more than, including the HR cost, not more than 5 lakhs. So expending 5 lakh, earning 2.5 crores 1 month. So ROI is phenomenal. Of course, it was their imagination, the vision that helped that entity do like that. But the basic understanding is that if you implement your business process automation correctly, thoroughly, then the payback is very, very, very fast. To my understanding, when you go for automation first time, the payback is not more than 3 years. Generally get it. I have more such experiences. Being online, not much can be shared on that, but the answer is clear. Then developing an ROI. Once the requirements have been documented, ROI has been computed, the top management gives an approval. Go ahead. The consultant develops the BPA. The developed BPA needs to meet the requirement for the purpose it is being developed. Just to see whether it is meeting the requirement, you go to the next step, that is testing. Once developed, it is important to test the new process to determine how well it is working and identify where additional exception processing is there. Steps need to be included. The process of testing is iterative process. More than once you do it, the objective being to remove all problems during this phase. So case 1, automation of purchase order process in manufacturing from module. So we'll go to the module. Before we go to the module, this is a very intense discussion. You have put a lot of queries. Let us give some time to the queries. Okay. Then we'll go to the module. So I had read till so Parthasarthi, digital currency. Yeah, good. COVID guidelines, good. Okay, so Prabhat, indent. Prabhat, indent is a document that is generated by stores or production. Indent is basically telling the purchase department that this product we need. Indent is asking the purchase department, this is what we need. Indent is requesting for an item. That is indent. Okay. So Rohit, so it's on a very different platform. There has to be no similarity between planning and business process. They are at a very different. Business has a different categorization. Planning is going to be smaller part within the business itself. So Pranav, you learn over a period of time. Rohit, you have asked a very good question. Rohit, I'll keep your question with you. We have, I recall that in all your 5 chapters, there is somewhere we can talk about it. I'll come to that. I've taken your question, Rohit. I'll answer that. Okay, good. So that is Business process, the steps. I'll go to the steps again. Just read them and then we'll go to the module. Define why we plan to implement, understand rules and regulations, document the process we wish to automate, define the objectives, goals to be achieved by implementing BPA, engage the business process consultant who is going to do it, calculate ROI, develop and test. Let us go to the module. Just give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So I've shared the module. So here case 1 is there for vendor offering early payment discount, entity needs to consider. So let us just go at the downside. Last part. Yeah. Automation of purchase order generation process in manufacturing entity. So that is a case study on business process automation given in the module. One, I've shared with you that snack seller. The third one, the entity that automated business near your locality, near residence that you personally experienced. So just bring these three together and then you learn better. Let us read this one. So this one we want to read. Automation of purchase order generation process in a manufacturing entity. So purchase order generation process is being automated. Okay, let us see. Define why we plan to go for business process automation. Good. Fantastic case. The entity has been facing problem of non-availability of critical raw material, which is leading to production stoppages and delay in delivery. Delay in delivery has already cost company in terms of losing customers and sales. Fantastic. Because raw material was not being timely ordered. So now I want you to tell there are maximum level, minimum level and reorder level of inventory. So you have to arrange them in descending orders of their size. So maximum, minimum, reorder, or whatever is their size, please put in the chat so that I can gain an understanding that you know the definitions correctly. Okay. So the trouble here is that the critical raw material item is not being made available on time. See, when we started today's session, the first slide relating to topic was on this only. Purchase manager gets an intimation through SMS or email or notification on his mobile device that this item's level has hit reorder level. We started with that as an automation process. Okay. So because the entity is facing this problem, they decide to go for purchase order automation. Very valid point raised. So what you are answering in the chat is maximum level, minimum level, reorder level, arrange in descending order of their size. Okay. Then understand rules and regulations which entity needs to comply with. They are going for purchase order automation. The item is not covered by any regulation specific, but had been a restricted item, then you need to have complied with. Like, for example, suppose I am manufacturing this from oil, I generate what I call as vegetable ghee. So oil, when I manufacture, I use oil, the vegetable oil. And when I create vegetable ghee, that is called as hydrogenated vegetable oil. So the key process of manufacturing hydrogenated vegetable oil from vegetable oil is that H2O2 gas, hydrogen peroxide gas is put through this. So this oil converts to hydrogenated vegetable oil. Now, H2O2 is a gas. It is subject to some regulation regarding storage. So if my manufacturing process was relating to such critical items, then I would have required some compliance. But in this case, no such thing is there. So no compliance needed. Document the process we wish to automate. The present process is manual, where orders are received by purchase department from stores department. Store department generates the order based on manual stock register based on items reorder level. The levels were decided 5 years back. So it's a disaster. Okay. Store records are not updated timely. It is just not going to work in today's situation. Okay. We need to automate it. No option. Define the objective goals to be achieved by implementing BPA. The objective behind present exercise is to ensure that there must not be any production loss due to non-availability of critical items of raw material. Engage business process consultant, say you and me. The opportunity loss for the project comes around rupees 100 lakhs per year. The cost of implementing should be around 50 lakh. It is expected that the opportunity loss shall be reduced to 50 lakhs in 1 year. So rupees 25 lakhs in later year for next 5 years. So you'll be having a payback period. If cash payback is considered, then 2 years you will receive that. Develop the BPA. Once the top management says yes, the consultant develops the necessary BPA. The BPA is to generate purchase order as soon as an item of inventory reaches its reorder level. To ensure accuracy, all data in new system need to be checked, validated before being put into system. Items inventory physically counted before uploading. Yes. So this is, you know what, if you want to take the word, this is called a system changeover, system migration. You had a manual system. Now you're going to computerized system. So the date you change over, these are critical activities to be done on that date. Valid inventory checking and updating because now it is system driven. So opening inventories have to be created very ethically. These exercises have to be done. Then reorder levels recalculated, all items issued for consumptions timely updated, all purchase orders automatically generated are made available to purchase manager at the end of the day for authorizations. And before making like testing it. I am not reading case 2. So we have case, I have shared one. Case 1 we have read. Case another that you know, and one more is in the module. So multiple cases have been shared with you. Just put your heart mind to that and create a very good presentation for this implementing BPA like that. So we'll go back to our presentation. Now, because we had this very intense discussion, so we'll go to the queries now. So some time to your queries. Okay, step 6, that is by Hiral. Hiral, I thought step 6 will be one of the easiest for me to do because financial management is part of your syllabus. Return on investment is the amount you invest and the payback of it. That net present value calculation you do in FM, that is. So I thought it was easy. Okay, so most of you have said correctly. Okay, so Petladwala Khujema has given EOQ. So I'm taking EOQ as ROQ, reorder level. Okay, so I'll accept that as correct. Then good. So many of you get e-chocolate. So those of you who get e-chocolate include Kumkum, Vardhan, Pritika, because you have said maximum, reorder, minimum and danger. Very good. That is fantastic. Good. So that is how it is. Now, Dhanesh has talked about, so MCQ, what I expect is, we'll be doing MCQ in the next session, start of the next session. Okay. So you keep your answers ready and the next session start, we'll do MCQs. Okay. So that clears the idea we are going to work on. Okay. Okay. So there's a query on step 7, developing the, okay, good. So Mohammad Abid, that is basically the, after having done everything, that is like hard coding. That is a hard job. So you've got everything, what you want to do, how you want to do. You have the consultant, you have calculated the ROI. Management is approved. Yes, Prabhat, the answer is yes. The only thing is you need to bring practicality to that process, that logical, practical, the way you learn, the way you implement, then you can very well go. Great. Buffer stock. Okay, I'll take that. So that is BPA implementation. So one from the module, one from me, and one you all know. Then case 3, leave that. We have talked about another case. Okay. The last topic for the day is risk and its management. Very, very, very important. Okay. So I want you to put, because business process automation is a big topic, important from academics, practicality in life, and important for your examination also. Quite detailed topic. Any query you have, and allow me to read the risk and its management topic. Okay. We are in absolutely no hurry. So take your time, learn as good as you can. Risk and its management. So the introduction, the key terms, sources, type, and risk management strategies. There is a chance that, okay, let us complete, then we'll talk about that. Introduction. So what exactly is risk? Risk is any event that may result in significant deviation from a planned objective, resulting in unwanted negative consequence. So I am sharing a risk. Okay. See, do you feel not able to pass an exam is a risk? You have to say yes, no. Let me read the definition. Risk is any event that may result in significant deviation from a planned objective, resulting in an unwanted negative consequence. Yes. So that is that we don't desire for. That is that we don't plan for. That becomes a risk. The planned objective could be any aspect of an enterprise strategic, financial, regulatory, operational processes, products, or services. Now see, if you read this together, basically it covers every aspect of entity. To make it more simple, whatever is there that is below the sun and that belongs to entity is subject to risk. वह सब कुछ जो एंटिटी का है और सूरज के नीचे है, उस सब को रिस्क प्रभावित कर सकती है, ऐसे याद रख सकते हैं. The degree of risk associated with an event is determined by the likelihood, uncertainty, probability of the event occurring, the consequence if the event were to occur, and its timing. Let us read that. The degree of risk associated with an event is determined by the likelihood, probability of occurrence of the event occurring, and consequence, and the impact if the event were to occur in its timing. That is bringing your accounting standard into that. Okay. Contingencies and events occurring after the balance sheet date. That's so risk. That is all. That is risk. And this is very, very, very important. Terms. Okay. Risk management and related terms. So risk management is process of assessing risk, taking steps to reduce risk to an acceptable level, and maintaining that level of risk. Risk management involves identifying, measuring, minimizing uncertain events affecting resources. Lot of things are there. Redo it. Read it again. Process of assessing risk. So that is the risk. Steps to reduce the impact of the risk to an acceptable level. I am asking you a question. Try to answer. You have not learned. Few of you have not studied audit. So you are not familiar with the word audit risk, inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. I am reading risk management. Suppose you are unaware of the words, you just don't know it. Try to answer this question based on your layman's knowledge, your common knowledge, common understanding. Say yes or no. The question is, can risk be reduced to zero? You have to say yes, no. Can risk be reduced to zero? You have to say yes, no. Now, let me read again. So risk management is the process of assessing risk, taking steps to reduce the risk to an acceptable level, maintaining that level of risk. Risk management involves identifying risk, measuring risk, minimizing the uncertain events affecting the resources that may be subject to risk. That's asset. Asset can be defined as something of value to an organization. For example, information in electronic physical form, software system, employees, they are all assets. They all have one or following characteristics. What is? So asset as per accounting standard 10 is a different definition. Right now you're looking from the technology perspective, information system perspective. That is an asset. They are recognized to be of value to an organization. They are not easily replaceable without cost, scale, time, resource, or a combination. They form part of the organization's corporate entity, without which the organization may be threatened, the business may be affected, business continuity may be affected. Their data classification would normally be proprietary. Proprietary means owned by the entity. This is not going to be used by anyone else. That is, ownership is mine if I am the entity. Highly confidential or top secret. These information, data, people will be classified as assets. Vulnerability. Very, very, very important. Vulnerability is weakness in system. Safeguard that exposes system to threat. It may be weakness in information systems, cryptographic systems, other components of system, internal control parameters that could be exploited by a threat. Vulnerability potentially allow a threat to harm or exploit the system. So vulnerability, one word is weakness. It allows an attacker to execute command as another user, allows an attacker to access data that are contrary to specified access restrictions for that data, allows an attacker to pose as another entity, allows an attacker to conduct a denial of service. So these can be types of vulnerability. The studio I am taking the class, there are two laptops. There's a door on the left side that opens in the apartment or the commercial complex. That is a vulnerability. What is a vulnerability? Weakness. That, just remember, what is vulnerability? Weakness. It can be exploited by whom? Threat. Let us go ahead. Any entity, circumstance, or event with the potential to harm the software system or component through its unauthorized access, destruction, modification, or denial of service is a threat. So the one who is going to exploit weakness is threat. The agent which is going to exploit vulnerability is threat. Just remember it this way. The agent that will exploit vulnerability is threat. In the example I gave, I am in a studio, two laptops, left side, the door opens in the commercial complex or the apartment. The door is open, that is vulnerability. The door is open, that is vulnerability. I am giving this question back to you. What is threat in the example I am giving? Please listen to this carefully. I am in a studio, laptops on my desk. Left side, the door is open. It opens in the commercial complex or the apartment. Door open is vulnerability. I am asking you, what is a threat? You have to define the threat in the chat. What is a threat? That exploits a vulnerability, that exploits a weakness. An agent that is going to exploit a weakness is threat. Okay. Then exposure. An exposure is the extent of loss the enterprise has to face when a risk materializes. It is not just the immediate loss, but it could be real harm that occurs in a long run. For example, it could be loss of business, failure to perform system mission. Same example. What is my exposure? I've shared vulnerability. So you are answering two questions. What is a threat and what is my exposure? What was the vulnerability? The door is open. Okay. Likelihood is probability. is the estimation of probability that a threat will succeed in achieving the undesirable event. Attack that may hit the three pillars, any of the three pillars: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Countermeasure. I'll ask the question back to you. Countermeasure is an action, device, procedure, technique, or other measure that reduces the vulnerability of the component or system is referred to as countermeasure. So in my example, you're answering the third question. So door is open, that was vulnerability. I am seeking answer to my question, what is threat? I am seeking answer to what the next question is, what is my exposure? And now I am seeking answer to this question. If that door open is vulnerability, what could be probable countermeasure? Risk is what we are all reading. Is any event that may result into significant deviation from a planned objective, resulting in an unwanted negative consequence. That is definitions. We are not going to sources. I want to first read your answers. Lot of questions we have put. Good. So I think this e-chocolate will be shared by two. The question that you answered is, can risk be made zero? So Mohammed and Alok Shivlani, they get the e-chocolate because they've answered correctly. No, it cannot be reduced to zero. That is why in the definition it was written acceptable level. Those of you who have read audit, for those who have read audit, the line is auditor performs audit procedure to reduce audit risk to acceptably low level. No one is saying zero. Zero is an impossibility. So this e-chocolate goes to Mohammed and Alok. Yeah. So that was one. Now the next question. Oh, many, many of you have said no. So the e-chocolate has to be distributed to many people. Okay. Your chat updated just now. So I'm glad that many of you have said no. Now to the question I had put. Okay. So threat. So Mohammed has said threat is a noise disturbance. Okay, good. I'm first reading the threat. Then countermeasure could be locking. So Jash has said the countermeasure correctly. Dhanesh has also said security guard countermeasure is correct. Kurapati Shri Lakshmi, locking the door countermeasure is correct. Harsh Chaturvedi, CCTV security guard. Great, Harsh. Fantastic. Alok has said threat, noise exposure. Kurapati Shri Lakshmi, theft or data misuse. So that is what you have to tell. Na? The word has to be there. What you're defining. Prabha says laptop stolen is threat. No, that we'll take. That is the incorrect answer, Prabhata. So now let us do that. Vulnerability is open door. Threat is, read the definition. What was the definition of threat? An agent can exploit vulnerability. So someone can enter, that is threat. Please understand. Just listen. Someone can enter, that is threat. What he does is my exposure. But he can enter, that is threat. So he shouts, creates disturbance, that is my exposure. He steals the possibility of losing my laptop due to theft is an exposure. Got the point? So that distinctions are so clear. So what is vulnerability? Weakness. What is threat? Exploitation of weakness by an agent. What is exposure? Possibility of a loss. Then you define the nature of loss. What is countermeasure? Control. So many of you have defined those very appropriately. Good. Good. So that is fantastic. Reading your answers are good. Alok says the result is, sir, you will close the door. Oh, but that becomes, that means what I have done, I have removed the vulnerability, the open door. But then see, please understand, if I knew that sometimes that option is not available, okay, to do away with like this. So then you have to look for countermeasures. Great. Now, sources. So we are in no hurry. I think with your permission, we'll have a slight extended class today, but no hurry. Sources. The most important step in risk management process is to identify the source of risk, the area where the risk can occur. This is very, 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 please understand, this is very important. I'll bring some live examples to that. This will give information about possible threat, vulnerability, and accordingly, appropriate risk management strategy can be adopted. Some of the common risks are commercial, legal relationship, economic circumstances, human behavior, natural event, political circumstances, technology, technical issues, management activities, controls, and individual activities. Now, see, please understand each of the word that is used can be discussed for hours continuously. Just remember the core, that is the idea that these can be common source of risk. And in fact, the period we are in right now, Russia-Ukraine war, the geopolitical consequences we are all facing. So political circumstances is a huge risk. Let us go to COVID per se. During COVID, when the lockdown was there, few businesses, barber shops, means in fact, lot of businesses closed due to that. So that is a very different source of risk. Broadly, risk has following characteristics: potential loss that exists as a result of threat, vulnerability process, uncertainty of loss expressed in terms of probability of such losses, and likelihood that threat agent mounting a specific attack against a particular system may bring that loss. So these are sources. Then I think we'll keep it here because types is a very important discussion. I don't want to rush that. We'll take it when we meet day after tomorrow. When we meet day after tomorrow, our plan will be, first we'll go through this two headers, types and risk management strategies. Then we'll take the MCQ and then we'll start the session, the PPT for day 2. Okay. Now I'm giving you I'm just refreshing my query chat so that you can ask your queries. Okay. So Alok and Dhyanesh, thanks. They gave me permission to extend, but then we want a good learning. Okay, so that is the core idea. So chocolate goes to Mohammad Abid. Yes. Okay. Any questions? 10 more seconds and then we'll close. Let me refresh again. Yeah, Harsh. Okay, don't worry. The best is the PPT of this module that you are looking at. So at the start of the PPT, when chapter 1 comes, automated business process, I've given topic headings. So we are basically on risk and management. The topics below that, controls and all those are going to follow. So it's already structured. This PPT also, you can see what we are going to talk about. Yes. Okay. So thank you. Thanks for, and our score is 572 chat queries. Thank you. So it was pleasure talking to you. Keep this. So at least one of the disadvantages, or you can say advantages of online is not not being able to physically meet. At least we can use chat and talk like this, so that monotony is not there. Yeah, will be. Blockchain is part of discussion, Mohammad Abid. So it is going to come. Yes. Okay, great. So you, of course, when we start day after tomorrow, I'll allow you to ask queries for today's session. It's structured. Thank you. So I am closing it, stopping the share. Thank you. Bye. Good night. God bless you.